We've been here the last couple of days enjoying the stunning surroundings of Lake Como at Villa d'Este, which has been the stage for round 5 of the UIM E1 World Championships. Highlights of a jam-packed 2 days coming right up.
Sports is about being the best you can be. It's about success. It's about adversity. It's about taking the hits and getting back up every time. But more than that, sports is about challenging yourself and other people.
It couldn't be closer.
Yes, baby.
It's about standing shoulder to shoulder. We're here to change the playbook. We're here to change the way you think about racing.
Hello and welcome to the Lake Como GP presented by Villa d'Este for round 5 of the UIM E1 World Championship. This glorious Italian natural wonder will be the battleground for E1's 9 teams, which are vying to become champions of the water. So let's take a look at how the teams fared in all-important qualifying.
Qualifying in Lake Como was incredibly exciting. All the teams dueling for the lone point available for pole position, and it was the points leaders coming in. Team Brady firing the first salvo with Sam Coleman putting up a remarkably quick lap. Emma Kimmelainen backed that up when she went out for the second session, but it was Tom Schaap from the Rafa team, the birthday boy, putting up the fastest overall lap. But in the end, it was Brady getting that key point. With qualifying complete and earning that point, Team Brady coming in with a 13-point margin, have expanded it to 14. Team Westbrook sits another 10 back behind Team Miami. And as you look at the rest of the points contenders right now, clearly Team Brady, the points leader, coming in, sensing opportunity and came out swinging.
Time now to go into the best of the racing action in the semi-finals, starting with semi-final 2, which features some very famous faces.
So here's the starting lineup for our second semi-final, the first of 2 for this group. Team Rafa, it will be Chris Ladaraga will be coming out in this first one. For Team Westbrook, it'll be Lucas Ordonez. And for Team Blue Rising, Lisa Gassane Battaglia will be behind the wheel of that Team Blue Rising Racebird.
All eyes on Team Rafa as the ones that seem to have been able to perform so well on this course. They had really good pace yesterday. They were the quickest when it came to one lap pace, obviously not combined quickest, right. But let's see if they can do that, because crucially, in order to do that sort of lap, you need to get out in front into the clean water, which makes that first turn absolutely crucial.
Wait, look at how wide Chris decided to go there. I think she, look at that, if she times this right, she did. She has got a nice lead, but did she use her boost too soon? Let's see what can happen. Can Lucas Ordonez come up? Can Lisa Gassane Battaglia doing an absolutely marvelous job getting up inside there? And she started to get a little bit of that porpoising, but look at Chris around the outside. What a move by Chris Ladaraga. Use that ultra wide lane to the start, ramp the outside right to the lead from row 3. We haven't seen that very often.
That was all about clean water, not having any turbulence from the other way, to be able to use the boost, make that move and make it stick, because the moment she came in front of the other 2 racebirds, she caused them all sorts of turbulence and made that gap even bigger.
You could see the grin on Rafa's face there as he watched that, but Lisa Gassane right now and Lucas Ordonez in a side-by-side duel into turn number 5. This is one of those somewhat tricky right-handers, and still side-by-side. Nice job there by Lucas, giving her just enough room to be able to maintain that position. But up front, what a opening lap by Ladaraga.
Yeah, absolutely flying Lisa there. But, you know, the other two of the Westbrook Blue Rising boats trying to keep as close to each other as possible to not get disturbed by each other's weight. You saw both of them using the boost at the same time and was reacting to each other. And this is foil to foil action, Greg.
Yeah, Lazaraga out front, but look at this duel. And again, Lisa Sabatalia doing a superb job running side by side and even getting through that little right-hander well, getting a good drive here as Lazaraga making the turn in right now. The margin at the line, about 8 seconds here. And now let's see who can do something with this. Remember, every one of these 3 race birds has to do one of those long laps. And what we've generally been seeing is if you're in the lead, you wait to do it till as late as possible because you've got that smooth, calmless water.
A big opportunity to build the gap, build, make that deficit big enough so you can use as little time as possible by using your long lap. I think that's the strategy we can see here from Team Rafa.
Just save the boat.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Save the boat. He's already understanding it. They got a lead, save the boat.
This is great, having a live reaction cam from 2 team owners, Will Smith and Rafa Nadal here, going head to head. They know what it's like being in these race boats on this water as Team Rafa come around that corner. Now this early long lap use here from Team Westbrook, interesting strategy. Maybe they believe that the clean water is worth more than the time lost in the long lap.
I think so. I think that's exactly it. And, you know, if they can come out, find that water, and really lay down some laps, then when Lisa Battaglia has to do hers, you know, if they've been able to run quicker on their clean water, Westbrook Racing, that can make them move to the front. But you can see pretty close there at the merge, so it's going to be fascinating to see. What did you say you were noticing it was about 10 seconds for the merge?
Well, I was just thinking, I was just looking at the timing, and they've almost halved that.
And as we're watching Rafa doing its long lap, they should be pretty clear into the merge, and Lisa Battaglia waiting at this point, and they're going to be grouped pretty well. But remember, Lisa for Team Blue Rising is the one racer that has not yet done that long lap, and she's going to have to do it this next time.
Interestingly, the gap just dropped by 10 seconds between Rafa's use of the long lap and Team Blue Rising behind, suggesting that it was a 9 or 10 second deficit by going in the long lap. So that would mean that currently, as it stands, Lucas Ordóñez will be able to make the position when Team Blue Rising use a long lap.
Absolutely. This is going to be really intriguing to see how it plays out. And what right now, of course, Lazaraga, she's got that margin, but as you said, it dropped a little bit. But Lisa has not done that lap. But one thing Chris can't do yet is just ease off much. Because of the way, the speed that we're seeing from Lucas right now, even in the wake. He did have that one moment, but he's eating away at it again. He has knocked that deficit down from that 5 second deficit down to 2.5 here. So he is starting to come back after him here. There you see Will really watching to see what's unfolding here.
Team Westbrook have a great setup, seemingly maybe even having a strategy of not pushing too much on Lisa in front in the Team Blue Rising racebird and just having that clean water in order to make up any time loss. But we're not just talking about position here, we're talking about advancing into the final and ultimate points, which at this stage in the championship go a long, long way.
Oh, it's huge, isn't it? All right, here we go. Is Lisa Gassain, this is Chris Lazaraga coming through. Big win in this semifinal for Rafa. We talked about they could be the spoilers here in a way, and Lazaraga getting the job done here. Here comes Ordóñez flying around as Lisa has to do that long lap, and he is going to come through, really putting the hammer down a little bit here, and comes through at 13 seconds in drift. So that was a dominant run by Chris for Team Rafa. Westbrook there in second, and then Lisa Battaglia will be back another 9 seconds. So absolutely great run, and pretty cool here. These two team owners, their racebirds just went 1-2. Chris, this is Greg in the TV booth. You put together an absolutely superb run, doing exactly what you needed to do.
Yes, I am very, very happy, really. I think we deserve this type of position because we have been working so hard, and I am so, so happy for the team, really. And I'm very happy.
Look at the celebrations, Will Smith and Lucas and Sarah, of course, got in. And I think she's now super glued those glasses to her forehead
we
here,
only want to win,
that she got from Will here. But, you know, extraordinary effort here. And again, we talked about neither of these pilots any experience in anything on the water. And what they and the team have done since they missed the first round because they didn't exist has been really stout. Listening in here, you can hear it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Sarah's saying it there. We've got to get to that final because currently when they're sitting third in the championship, really the points on offer make Team Rafa a real competitor for that third spot.
Oh, they do? Absolutely. So, semi-final 2 is in the books. Let's take a look at the results. Liza Battaglia, a great drive for Team Blue Rising. Just not quite enough to be able to hang on to that second spot in third. Lucas Ordonez storming up into that second spot for Westbrook. And then Team Rafa delivering what we thought could be a really strong effort. Chris Ladaraga living up to the hype and now turning it over to Tom Chaplin. They come out for the next group. They are looking really strong.
Welcome back to the Lake Como GP, where the teams have been battling it out in the semi-finals against this idyllic backdrop.
In semi-final 1, Team Brazil, Team Drogba, and points contender Team Miami setting off in semi-final 1. It was Timmy Hansen getting an absolutely storming start that was going to play well for Team Brazil, but the huge story was an absolute catastrophe for Team Miami. Anna Glennon absolutely crawling over the top of one of the smart marks. That resulted in a 0 points finish. Then in semi-final 3, Team Checo, Team Aoki, and Team Brady. Interesting lineup here. Team Brady, the points leaders. Team Checo and Aoki Racing never making it to a final. They had huge pressure here as well. Sam Coleman got an awesome start and ended up parlaying that into some absolute dominance, but he had to overcome a penalty long lap, 2 long laps, and it was still a dominant run for Coleman. That was absolutely critical for them as they have a chance to potentially put their hands on that championship trophy in this event. Now in semi-5, it was Team Rafa, and their pilot, Tom Schaap, has been absolutely quick here this weekend. Then it was Westbrook Racing and Team Blue Rising, and in this one, it was all Rafa. Tom Schaap put on an amazing display, but a solid second by Team Westbrook. That means they are going into the final round. And in semi-6, Brady was dominant again. Emma Kimmelainen just checking out. And Aoki Racing made it into the final round for their first time. All the pressure was on Team Miami in semi-final 4 because this was where they needed to pull off some magic to even have a shot at putting Brady off from winning the championship here in Lake Como. So here is the starting lineup now for the 4th semifinal, the 2nd semifinal for this race group. Starting in lane 3, it will be Katie Munnings for Team Brazil. Then it will be Team Drogba with Yusuf Abdul Razak taking over for Oban Duncan, and Eric Stark for Team Miami. And Eric has got to win here. It's that simple. Here we go. They are all even as we get to the start chute, and away we go. And right there, Katie dropping back just a little bit, and maybe she's saving her boost for, yes, and she did. Look at this, she waited, the others used their boost up early. Here comes Katie, and Drogba answering Yusuf Abdul Razak, but Katie has the nose ahead. Can she make it work around the outside? She's giving it a little bit of space. Ooh, tight. Three abreast at the exit of turn 2. That's extraordinary.
Really, really well done. But again, it's actually the inside line that's paid off the dividends in this occasion. But there's still all 3 race birds really, really close. So not just the first corner, this second set of corners now also going to be crucial to how much pace and gap you can build.
And you can see Eric Stark, his comfort in that reduced visibility. When they came into turn 2, you couldn't even see him. And he squared up, shot through underneath, and got to the inside. That is the experience showing right there. A little bit of a margin he's built up. And then we've got Al Abdul Razak sitting there in second. And here in that 3rd spot right now is Katie Munnings, and she is working it really difficultly right now. But the problem is, out front, you can see Eric starting to build a little bit of a margin.
Which is exactly what he needed to do. That Team Miami had one decision, one thing they had to do in this semi-final, and that was get in the lead and win. Because it's exactly what they have to do in order to keep any dream alive. And this is chopping and changing crazily.
Yeah, but we've got now an announcement. Both Team Miami and Team Drogba, a long lap penalty. Oh boy, it's happening here, and it was a false start penalty. So I'm not sure how that played out, but it doesn't matter. They each get a long lap penalty for Team Miami and Team Drogba, so that suddenly puts Katie Munnings in Team Brazil if she can stay close in the catbird seat here. Let's take a look at that start. See if we can figure out where the false start would go. It might be that they just got there too soon. Watch it here. Yeah. That may be that they just got there a little bit too soon. Katie taking advantage right there. That must have been it. They must have nipped through that start line by just that much too soon here. And here we go. Team Miami, Eric Stark, heading off on his first of 2 long laps here. And as he went into it, he had about a 5-second lead.
Definitely not as much as Team Brady had in the previous semi-final, and you can see they're maybe going to lead both for first and second position here coming out the long lap, knowing they have another one to do. Yes, their Team Miami have to do Team Drogba have to do the same as well, but let's remind ourselves how these work in the semi-final combined standings. It's about the finishing position of both pilots in the race boats across all of the semi-finals that gets you the points to get into the finals, where ultimately the points towards the end of the weekend are given. That's how it works.
Right. And right now, obviously, we're only going to see these 3 because they're the only ones that have now started the second half of their semi-final rounds here. So that's what's going to show right now. But up right now, Drogba really doing a nice job. Yusuf Al Abdul Razak understanding his mission here, sets a really quick first sector here, trying to build up as much margin as he can.
And now you look at these combined standings, Team Miami kind of looking on there in despair, knowing that the combined standings gives them 3rd, which doesn't give them a good position and the points that they need to keep this championship alive, keep the fight to Team Brady. This is a disaster for Team Miami.
Well, it is. Remember, from what we understand, in that first semifinal, because of the contact with the smart mark, not only they got a did not finish, but almost a did not start. As a result, that was a 0 point. So, they absolutely had to have a win here from Eric and some problems for some other of these race birds here. And Eric doing everything he can right now. But I'll tell you, when Yusuf Abdul Razak, he's got that Razak as that nickname for a reason. When he feels it, he feels it. Unfortunately, right now, Anna is just feeling, as you said, anguish. She's just going, come on, buddy, find it. And if anybody can, it'll be Eric.
Yeah, it is. The pressure is on. There's a lot of weight on those shoulders sitting like cockpit right now, knowing what's happened. They needed to have the performance of their life. They needed their main competitor, Team Brady, to have trouble. And the absolute opposite has happened. Team Brady are flying ahead, and Team Miami could not have had worse luck.
And right now, both Yusuf Al Abdul Razak and Eric Stark have done 1 of their long laps. Katie Munnings sits in 2nd. And she only has 1 to do. She's not done it yet, but she has the standard long lap. But Yusuf Al Abdul Razak right now, he's completed 1 long lap. He's got a 10-second lead over Katie Munnings. That would make them near dead hit even coming out of the merge.
And as Anna said herself, it's not over to the fat lady sings.
Yep.
And there is, like you said, 8 seconds between each of the 3 pilots in this semi-final, and that's a much smaller deficit than we had in the previous semi-final. We were looking at up to 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So it isn't over yet.
No, and I think
Much
this
closer.
is going to be really, really close here at the merge, as Yusuf now doing his 2nd, the penalty long lap. And keep your eye here on Katie Munnings and where they end up. This is about as close as we've seen coming out of the merge. The 2 of them in really, really close concert, and just enough done here by Katie Munnings to be able to hang on to the lead by 2 seconds out of that merge. So really, really close here. And Yusuf now has to absolutely drop the hammer. And that's got Brazil in the combined standings up top at this moment in this one. So again, if you have the best three finishers in terms of winners of each of the combined semifinal rounds, if you will, go straight to the final. The highest placed seconds of those will go to the finals as well. That's what everybody's kind of fighting for right now in terms of especially Team Miami.
Yeah, and it's all about like that combined standing, those combined points. Is the points that Team Drogba, Team Brazil, and Team Miami can secure enough to do? You know, essentially what you're looking at now is you want Miami just to get in that second spot to try and do what they can with the points available. But really, this is a show. This is the Team Brazil show.
It is.
You know, we've talked about the top two in the standings, but there's such a small amount of points between third and seventh that this is already going to have championship ramifications.
Absolutely, and now Katie Munnings in the lead, but now starting her standard long lap. Everybody has to do at least one, and she's going to go for it right now. Now, Yusuf Abdul Razak is going with her. So this is an absolute race, and Eric Stark, this is going to be really close.
That's done. That's a great. He's done very, very well there. You know, got the two long laps done early to now just be focused on managing, trying to keep that position, knowing that both teams behind have also done their long laps. This could be the finishing there, and ecstatic there, as you can imagine, because that does. I mean, it's good for position. Ultimately, combined standings,
and both of them on their knees as a result of that. Look at that. This is just stunning here. And Eric Stark just was sort of in hiding there, wasn't he? And absolutely flying right now. And taking that win. It was all done on the last lap, folks. It was that close. Officially, Stark winning by 2.5 seconds with Yusuf Al Abdul Razak another 4 seconds adrift. That's really, really close. And there's Anna just overwhelmed, really, by what Eric did here. The question is, will it be enough? Eric, this is Greg in the TV booth. I know you're coming into the launch zone, but you had to overcome another long lap penalty and came through brilliantly.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm not really sure why I got the long lap penalty, but you know, in the end, we managed to win the race. So yeah, it's really fantastic for us. We had the first semi-final was a little bit difficult, but yeah, it was nice for the win.
Well, obviously, as you came through and took the win, Anna and the crew dropped to their knees in emotion. That was absolutely brilliant. But with that problem in the first one, it's going to be difficult for you to make the final, but not for a lack of trying, Eric. Absolutely incredible run. Congratulations.
We'll see about the final, but you know, it's not over until it's over, but it was nice for the win. Thank you very much.
So, after the semifinals are complete, here's how things look. Semifinals 1 and 4. This group, Team Brazil coming out on top over Team Drogba and Team Miami. Semifinals 2 and 5. This group, Team Rafa coming out with a dominant run on top of Westbrook and Team Blue Rising. And finals 3 and 6 for this group, it was Team Brady, even with Sam Coleman overcoming an extra long lap due to a penalty over Aoki Racing and Team Checo.
Rafa, good to see you. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Regular steering wheel, got it. Okay, boom, boom, reverse, boom, boost. Help! That's the help. That's the help button. That's the help button. Help! Okay. All right.
Have fun.
See you in a few. All right. Yeah, go on in there. Oh man, I'm excited about this. I know, right? Like, hey.
Well, it's so cool, man. It's the moment we were waiting for the whole season, no? He's here in Lake Como testing it and giving it a go, and he's enjoying. That's the most important.
Rafa's now leaving. All right. Copy that, ready to go. That was fantastic. I felt it when it went up. I like this. We're going to be doing this for a couple hours now. And I'll be on the right, he'll be on the left. So I'm good to go. Yeah, it felt good. I lost sight of the finish line.
You enjoy?
A lot. Yeah. That's fantastic. Ah, that's great. Dude,
Good fun.
that's fun. That's really fun. Rafa,
Next time we do a real race.
Yeah, we do a real one. Yeah, you know.
I already lost my job, I think.
Time now to see what happened in the grand finale. We'll be looking back at both of those finals, but let's see what happened in the first one.
Well, the stage has been set. It is finals time, everybody. Welcome to Lake Como, where we're going to get after it right now. The starting grid for the first of our two finals. Team Brady will be in the outside lane, Sam Coleman at the controls. Team Rafa in the next lane in, Chris Lavaraga. Then it will be Team Brazil with Timmy Hansen right down the middle. Then Westbrook Racing, Lucas Ordonez. And then on the inside, in their first final of the season, Aoki Racing with Saud Ahmed. Great opportunities here for all, especially maybe for Team Brady. And there's the Ocean Club. Everybody getting ready to watch with Will Smith right there in the center. Here we go, heading toward the start. And when they get there, the timing, we're bows out. We are racing final number one here on the amazing Lake Como, and it is Westbrook getting a nose ahead. Aoki Racing, for a minute there, looked like they were going to be okay in that inside lane, but Saud, that boat getting a little unsettled here. Great start by Timmy Hansen for Team Brazil, and here comes Chris Lavaraga trying that outside move again.
Team Brady trying to go for the very wide outside in the least advantageous lane position, and it hasn't worked out as to speak. They're right at the back of the pack. They're going to have 4 boats worth of wake to deal with, but maybe, I'm just thinking ahead of the game here, Greg, maybe this is part of the strategy, because all they need to do to secure a championship win is finish in the top 3.
So you know neither of their pilots are going to risk that race bird, right? And they're going to be very mindful of where they have to run. Probably won't want to be racing this close. How close is this, folks? Absolutely stunning. On board, Aoki Racing and Team Brazil, the great camera shots that we are getting offered us here is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, whilst Lucas Ordonez has a roughly almost 4.5 second lead, now just gone up to a 5.5 second lead, the other 3 behind will have firm eyes on their rear view mirrors or rear view cameras as Team Rafa and Team Brady try and close the gap as the 2 quickest race birds so far this weekend, and by a long way.
Absolutely. And it's just interesting to see both of them at the back, as you said. Ordonez doing a brilliant job up front for Westbrook in that red racebird, and Timmy Hansen sitting in that second spot. Oh, big rough ride there for Chris Lavaraga for Team Rafa, but she was on the boost. She was not willing to let it go. She's got position on the inside. Is she going to be able to make this hold? It's so close. Inside Saud Ahmed. Oh, she's in a wash of spray. She's still trying for it. And Saud's going to close the door again. Gives her just enough room. This is some of the closest racing we have seen. And Chris Lavaraga, look at Rafael Nadal, absolutely agape at this stage at how close this is.
Oh, it's so close, but then just Chris Lavaraga just fell back behind Saud Ahmed, now got all that weight to deal with. It's going to completely throw the racebird off balance, and already you can see the gap that's been made just by that one corner.
Well, look at this, and you know who's going to be cheering this on. Will Smith's going to be loving this moment here. But Saud Ahmed has closed it up on Hansen, and Lavaraga has closed it up as well. Here we go, completing the merge. Ordonez does it with aplomb and gets the win in final number 1. There you see it. A huge round of applause from Will Smith. And Timmy Hansen is not done yet, coming through, picking the position up. Saud dropped off in the latter part of that last bit. They were really close. They'll still get 3rd.
As we mentioned before, Team Brady need to finish this weekend 4th or above to secure the championship. So if you're Team Miami, you're looking at the result of this and you're rubbing your hands.
Yes, you are. So, final number 1 in the books, and a huge surprise. Team Brady on the pole in qualifying, dominant in semifinals, ends up in 5th. Sam Coleman struggling. Also, Chris Lavaraga, who won a semifinal. Back and forth. Aoki Racing in their first ever final with Saud Ahmed into 3rd. Timmy Hansen for Team Brazil, a solid race in his 2nd. But up front, Lucas Ordonez for Westbrook Racing. Great start, checked out into the distance.
Okay, well, it's time then to see what happened in final number 2. And as far as finals go, this one certainly didn't disappoint.
So let's take a look at the starting grid for final number 2. It will be Michele Lobadan who got that great run in to get Aoki into their first ever final round. Westbrook Racing, as I said, Sarah Price will be taking the helm. Katie Munnings will be taking over for Timmy Hansen for Team Brazil. And then Tom Schaap will be taking over for Chris Lavaraga for Team Rafa. And Team Brady, it will be Emma Kymäläinen, the pilot for this final. So we take a look here at Aoki Racing and Michele Lobadan. She has really been one of those drivers. She's again come from nothing aquatic here other than she loves being in the water. But she is a rally driver, but she has adapted very, very well, Saunders, and she has shown some great terms of speed, as she did in the semifinal round to bring Aoki into their first final.
Yeah, big turnaround of performance for the Aoki team. Next we have Sarah Price for Team Westbrook Racing. Very, very accomplished in the world of rally, Dakar Extreme. Of course, a Hollywood stunt driver as well, so knows what it takes in order to make the most out of being thrown around in a cockpit and try and get good performance, good race results, and ultimately good points come to the end of it. And it's coming off the back of her teammate winning.
Yeah, you need to take your shoes off and count the number of national motocross championships she's won. And then you have Katie Munnings, another off-road driver, and Katie has been very, very quick. And the unique dynamic in that team, Katie and Timmy are teammates oftentimes in other forms of racing, so the communication has been great, and that has Katie running very, very quickly indeed.
And that brings us on to Team Rafa, Tom Schaap, very well accomplished in something that not a lot of people can say, which is having equally good championship wins in 2 disciplines, both on the water in powerboat racing, but also in karting on track. So he's taking the learnings and the experience of both those disciplines into E1 racing, where both have merits and advantages. It's been very, very quick so far, and they need to be quick here.
Seat time in anything seems to pay off, doesn't it? And that applies equally well here to Emma. This is Emma Kymäläinen, who has done such an amazing job. She not only does the racing, she has run in GP, and she has run in the W Series as well, but snowmobiling, mountain biking, she is a talent. All right, here we go. This is a look at the course that they are going to have to negotiate. This is the final time of this 5th round of the championship, the Lake Como GP, presented by Villa d'Este. And it is a challenging track. Doesn't have those long, straight sections. We've heard that. It is something really quite different than what they have experienced here thus far.
Yeah, the 2 big areas. The start, we know how important that is. It's going to be just as important as the next one. And the long lap strategy, absolutely crucial.
And what I find fascinating here, as does everybody there in the Ocean Club, with Rafa and Brady in the outside 2 lanes for that first start, we talked about that. You know, that is not any advantage. They occupy the inside 2 lanes. You've got Emma Kymäläinen and Tom Schaap could be going foil to foil into that first turn. They are both hard racers.
Yeah, 5 seconds to go. It's going to be huge how this starts. Greg, take it away. What can we watch?
Oh, we are bows out and close to that inside already. And you can see Tom Schaap, he got going, but then it was a great launch by Emma. She just waited, hit the boost right as Schaap was coming off the boost, launches into the lead. But look at Sarah Price, that outside line. She can pull this off.
It was a great start from Brady and Kymäläinen, but it's Westbrook that seems to be doing well. No, they've gone too wide. They've gone for the speed and the distance argument we've been talking about, and it's come badly off. Team Brady in the lead, following by Team Rafa behind.
Yeah, Michele Lobadan for Aoki going way, way out there. And with that long run, it looks like Sarah might be able to hang on to 3rd. I thought for a moment we might have the Team Brazil entry coming up and challenging by Katie Munnings. This is a pretty close grouping here. A lot of the starts, we've seen big gaps form much sooner than this. And these top 4 are staying in relatively close concert here. And Emma Kymäläinen, I'll tell you, I think she's the revelation of this series this year. She is just, no boating background, but she has the gift. You can see there, you see Chris Lavaraga shaking her head, going, well, we didn't get the better part of that one.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the kind of the race now we've been waiting to see all weekend. Did Brady beat Rafa? There'd be the big big upset there for Carolina. Brady took everything going into that corner.
And that, if it's judged to be egregious enough, that's a potential penalty. So we'll keep an eye out for it. If you clip it, they've been letting it go. That was an absolute, you just clouded it. And it cost her some momentum and speed. And here comes Shap, looking to the inside, battle for the lead. Championship implications.
Oh.
Shap along the inside, he's through. Oh, that could have been almost another touch.
Huge move, absolutely huge move, and now that long lap strategy even more crucial. But the quickest man, the quickest pilot all weekend has been this person, Tom Chap for Team Rafael.
Yeah, absolutely. He had the fastest individual lap in qualifying. He was wickedly quick. I think that there may be some damage possibly to that Brady boat because now you see Sarah Price is and then Sarah catches a little wave. And those, I tell you, that's the interesting thing about these foils is when one hits it catches something before the other does, it gets that huge yaw moment. Look at this. She is potentially through there still, side by side. Sarah Price, the nose ahead. Now of Emma Kimmeline and Emma just slotting into that third spot. Wow, I'll tell you, it looked like she was back on race form here, but you have to wonder that she really hit that smart mark.
I think you made a good call with Team Brady because we don't have to see this again, this replay. There's definitely some damage and it's costing them time. They're losing it by the minute. Let's have another look at what happened.
Watch it right here. Turns in, it buries it. And wham! Oh yeah, it cracked that. And now she, because of that, as we said, it was such a hard hit. That's going to be, it has just been assessed a long lap penalty. A chance to clinch here, and it's going wrong. Oh boy, this is unbelievable here. Meanwhile, Tom Shap up to a 6.2 second lead. Sarah Price is sits second and Emma is third, but with 2 long laps, this championship suddenly is blown wide open.
You've got to ask the question, was the risk worth it?
Yeah.
All you needed to do was finish in the position you currently were and not lose it. Did you need to take that much risk?
I wonder, did she hit one of those little whirlpools right as she turned? I mean, I'm just speculating, but it just suddenly pivoted on her. Who knows? We'll hopefully find out later, but boy, that is absolutely incredible. And let's see when she might do, now having to do 2 of those long laps. And Emma has, let's see if she takes care of that here. Looks like she has not yet. And did she make the move? No. But behind her, Michelle Lobadan goes for the long lap.
And let's remind ourselves about how it works with the combined finishes of these 2 finals. Team Brady took 3 from final 1. Currently they'll be taking 5, so that would give them 8 in total. Sorry, that would give them 8 to then potentially see where that puts them in the end with the maximum points available. We'd be looking at 8 points. And so that makes it, like you said, completely wide open. It's not over for Miami yet. And talking behind that, there's still plenty to play for.
Well, absolutely, and depending upon if that with that damage on that boat, the others could. We see Timmy now has moved around and taken up that. That's why Katie Munnings, and she's done the long lap, and now she's going to drop back a little bit. So it's going to be fascinating to see. But it certainly looks like right now this championship, which could have potentially been clinched here by Team Brady, looks like it will be going to the final round. And right now, Tom Shap, the margin 10.5 seconds, make it 11.5 up front as he goes through another sector. And he just set a superbly quick second sector at 25.7. So absolutely flying. Westbrook and Sarah Price going for their long lap. And it's going to be close here, but I think she will be okay. As she comes through, has to go around that next cone there. And then she can start into the merge here, and it's all going to come down to, at that point, where Emma is at that point. And remember, we've seen Emma Kimmeline has now done 1 of the 2 long laps, and that drops her into 4th. There comes Sarah.
You've got to ask yourself the question as well. If you're Tom Chap now, you've got a 23-second advantage. What could have been for Emma Kimmeline and Tom Brady?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, they were out front. She had that one. And just maybe that margin just cut it too close here. You can see Michelle Lobadan is starting to close up. And again, Emma's got damage on that left foil. And The only person who hasn't done the long lap right now is Schaap. He just turned to 21.2. That's extraordinary. And you can see right now Brady boosting, Kemma doing everything she can right now. But the interesting thing to me is with that damage, if Michele Lobadan comes up and takes that 4th spot, that's going to compress this championship even more. Right now, you know, Team Miami, they don't want to win it, you know, with a problem like that. As finally Tom Schaap goes for the long lap, but you know, underneath they might be going, come on, Michele. That's going to make it closer. We get to go to the final. Yeah, but Tom Schaap, exactly. But Tom Schaap is just, as he has been every time he has been on the water here, has just an absolutely superb run. We're on the last lap. Here he comes to the line, and Rafa and Tom Schaap come through as they start this lap. This is going to be amazing. And look at that. Look at that story here. Westbrook coming through into the 2nd spot.
But look at the end of the long lap. It's Team Aoki. They're coming through.
They're going to do it.
They've done it.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be amazing. Michele Lobadan has gone through on Team Brady, will take 4th. So Rafa wins this one. Sarah Price 2nd, Katie Munnings 3rd, Michele Lobadan in that 4th spot, and in 5th, a wounded Emma Kimmelainen. But those combined standings, Westbrook Racing, they weren't even in existence after the 1st round. They win a final round, a combined final. Rafa fighting back from that 4th place finish to finish 2nd in the combined. Brazil, a really impressive run into 3rd. And Aoki in their 1st final doing a nice job too. And Brady, boy, talk about a coulda, woulda.
What a turn of fate. You know, it looked like they couldn't lose earlier in the day. And then everything that could have gone wrong in that race for them did happen. And again, we said it at the end of the 1st final, if Miami were rubbing their hands then, they're positively blistered all over right now.
With both finals in the books, here are the combined results. Stunning for Team Brady back in 5th. Aoki Racing in the 4th spot. Team Brazil, a solid running on the podium in 3rd. Team Rafa with Schaap winning his final round, end up in 2nd. And Westbrook Racing backing up the win for Ordonez with Sarah Price finishing 2nd. They have won their 1st ever overall final, and they are winners here in Lake Como. So with the Lake Como GP presented by Villa d'Este in the books, here are the final overall standing. Westbrook with their 1st ever win, 20 points. That's huge for them. Team Rafa in 2nd, Team Brazil in 3rd. That's your podium. Aoki Racing 4th. Team Brady, the points leader, coming in back in 5th. Team Drogba in 6th. Miami with their issues still in the championship. Team Blue Rising in 8th, and in 9th, Team Checo.
Right, Westbrook Racing are officially champions of Lake Como. Will, how does that sound?
I am very excited. I am honored. This is my 1st race. I've been trying to get out here, and I think I'm going to keep coming.
Yeah. Honestly, you've been lucky, haven't you, this weekend? That was absolutely incredible. How did that feel for you?
Oh man, I think my team was tricking me at the end there. They weren't going to tell me that we won, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, this whole time we worked so hard, and it's like we got that win finally. Oh my God!
How was that for you watching on? How were you feeling?
I was watching with Will, with Rafa, with all the staff. It was incredible. I cannot believe. I have no words. You did an amazing start, and that's what we needed. We nailed it. Westbrook Racing.
And I talked to Tom Brady right before I FaceTime with Tom Brady right before, and I told him my entire childhood was spent with him beating my team. And I was like, that's not going to happen out here today.
After a massive upset, here are the championship points. Yes, Team Brady still leads, but now Westbrook has moved into 2nd. Team Miami has slipped to 3rd, Rafa in 4th, Brazil, Drogba, Team Blue Rising, Aoki, and Team Checo. But the magic moment of this compelling championship that could have been clinched here, this event by Team Brady is now still wide open going into the final round. It's on.
So congratulations are in order then to Westbrook Racing for securing maximum championship points here in Lake Como, and for also setting the scene for what is set to be an exciting final event in the E1 Championship Series this season. Keep your eyes peeled for that one right here on DAZN. Until then, take care everyone, and we'll see you soon. Ciao!